quickly about two dimensions of ma ataha, this phrase, that Allah does not place a burden except whatever He gave them, except with whatever He gave them and within whatever He gave them. So let me explain this by way of an analogy, so this abstract idea will become easier to understand. Think of a student who's super smart, doesn't even have to do any homework. He can get easily 100 on the exam. Okay, if he spent 5 minutes studying, he can get 100 on the exam. But this kid gets a 90 on the test. Another student, mathematics was not in his genes. He has to study 20, 30 hours and barely get to a 65. Yeah? A teacher knows that the one who earned that 65 put a lot of work in to get to that 65. And the student who didn't put any work in got a 90, but even if he put a little bit of work in, he would have gotten a 100. Who is the teacher, a real teacher, who is he disappointed with? The 90 student. On paper, the 90 student is better than the 65 student. But in reality, fast forward 10 years. He's not in 5th grade, he's in university. Because if you're a smart kid, everybody tells you you're so smart, you're so smart, you're so smart. Things are easy for you. You start getting used to not doing so much work and getting through the test. Then you get and the kid who wasn't told you're so smart, he was used to doing the hard work. Now they're in university, both of those guys. And for the first time, the subject matter is so big that being smart is not enough. You've got to do work. You can't just go through university being smart. You got to get through university doing work. But the kid who was super smart was not used to doing work. So now for the first time in his life, he fails a test, fails an exam. And the kid who was getting 65s, he got a B, he got an A minus. He got fine because he's used to doing work. And the kid that was so happy getting 90s without any effort falls into depression. I used to be really smart in school. I don't know what happened. Maybe I became dumb. I'm just not smart anymore. He was on top of the hill and then he falls all the way to the bottom. He might even drop out of school because he never learned the proper working habits. You understand? Allah is saying two things. Allah does not put a burden on anyone more beyond their budget. But also Allah has not put a burden on you except according to your budget. In other words, if you were capable of more, Allah made sure you are capable of more. So Allah expects you to do more. You were given more wus'a, He expects more infaq from you. So it's not just, it's within your budget that Allah expects, but Allah expects more from people who He gave more to. Allah expects less from people who He gave less to, but actually exactly according to their maximum. Like Allah, if I have the potential of doing more, Allah expects more from me. I'll give you a personal example for that. Alhamdulillah, according to some people, I'm famous. So because I'm famous, I could just turn a camera on and put a mic on and I could just say something. And I've been learning for a long time, so I could just say something from within the 20 years of what I've learned and not really open another book. And I'll still have an audience. There'll still be people sitting there listening to what I'm saying. And I can produce content. And then I can look up what are the different kinds of trending content, what are the subjects that are trending, get more views, and I can pick up on those subjects and start talking about those subjects, and I can be successful in the social media realm, or in the popularity realm, or in the content production realm. It's easy for me. I have tons of experience speaking. I have tons of things I can talk about. I can just run my mouth all day, start a podcast, do whatever, right? Or I could just sit back and say, Allah has given me this opportunity. Allah has given me the resources. Allah has given me people in my life. And He's given me an opportunity to serve His book. And I know I'm capable of studying it more than I ever have before. And I know I have a capability of connecting people that are studying the book and getting more extraction out of the endless treasure of the Quran than maybe Allah has given other people that opportunity. He's given me more of that opportunity, right? So now I need to decide whether I'm just going to put a camera on and do my minimum. Nobody will know.
Yeah.
Or am I gonna just, do more study now than I've ever done in my life? and do more work now than I've ever done in my life. Because in my mind, if Allah gave me the opportunity, He expects me to live up to the vastness of the opportunity. If He gave me the financial means, the intellectual means, the social means, the time, the health, if He gave me these things, how am I maximizing that stuff to His service, right? Those are the options before every one of us. With that in mind, in the context of this surah, what is Allah actually saying to a man who makes more money? Allah is saying, be generous. When you're generous to the woman that you're divorcing, and you're generous with the children, and you're generous with the giving of the child support, you're giving more than the minimum, and you're being generous, you're softening hearts. It's a gesture of goodwill. It's going to create, ease into the future. So don't be tight-fisted when it comes to, this area. And then if you don't have much, okay, well then give whatever you can. Allah will put barakah in it. It's okay. فَلْيُنْفِقْ بِمَا آتَاهُ اللَّهُ. And this is actually Allah not just holding us, because fiqh will describe to you what's the minimum requirement, right? This ayah is not about the minimum requirement. The minimum requirement was already in ayah number 6. Ayah number 7, this concluding ayah, is actually about, hey, do the maximum that you can. لِيُنْفِقْ ذُو سَعَةٍ مِّن سَعَتِهِ وَمَنْ قُدِرَ عَلَيْهِ رِزْقُهُ فَلْيُنْفِقْ بِمَا آتَاهُ اللَّهُ. And now Allah on top of that is saying, and Allah has burdened you, not beyond your ability, but Allah has burdened you with certain potential, so live up to your potential. Whatever potential Allah gave you.